Good morning and welcome to Trade Setup right here on BloombergQuint. I'm Niraj Shah. It's our second day of work from home, and well, I must say I'm getting used to it as well. It's not all that bad, and well, because of the low traffic, you can hear the noise of the bird chirping, etc., as well. But let's get straight to business. First, as we've been doing for the last couple of sessions now, coronavirus updates, two or three that we thought were the more important ones, bringing them to you. So the U.S. Has surpassed China for the most infections worldwide. They've just toppled, or rather, gone past China in terms of the number of cases detected. So I think US, China, and Italy in that order right now. By the way, who would have thought this the month ago? But China has now gone ahead and suspended entry of foreign nationals into the country starting Saturday, I presume. But 1 month ago, I think people were saying that let's not get people from China. Now China is saying we do not want foreign nationals. I mean, imagine how quickly the things have changed as well. New cases in Canada, new cases in Italy surged as well. Remember, Italian cases yesterday had gone down, but no such luck today. The good part from an Indian perspective is that the number of cases, yes, they are rising as they would, but I think India has gone ahead and said that there is a stabilization in the rate of new infections, arguably due to the lockdown that we have in place. So that is probably some good news. However, moving to the trade and the economic data, yesterday, everybody was watching out for this jobless claims data, right? I mean, that was the most important number to be watched out for, the first large number that would give an indication of what kind of impact this is having. And it was an ugly number. This surged, and these jobless claims surged quite meaningfully, much higher than anticipated. But the markets continued their surge, and the US markets have had, as end of trade yesterday, the biggest 3-day surge since 1931. Boy, the last 3 months have broken a number of records. This is one more. This 3-day surge dates back all the way till 1931. I think people are just buoyed by the stimulus that the Fed has given, and that should augur well for the other markets as well. So I think when I looked at what happened in the US markets was pretty impressive. And keep in mind, the other thing you keep in mind is that this move, a lot of people might just term it as a dead cat bounce or a bear market rally, because in the past, and this chart will show you in the past, some of these times when we've hit these support levels, the markets have tend to have a very sharp pullback as well. Is this one of those? Never know. We've gained 21% from the lows. Are we in a new bull market? Lots of questions, but maybe this is just a dead cat bounce or a bear market rally that typically happens. Now, keep in mind the Dow futures are flattish or marginally flattish, I would have to say, the last time I checked after this massive 3-day move. But the Asian screen and the SGX Nifty in particular are taking on some positivity. The SGX Nifty, the last time I checked, was trading in the green as well, and fairly decent in the green as well. So we might actually have a decent start in the session today. Just very quickly, a couple of other checks. So typically when the risk appetite in the risky assets like equities goes up, crude tends to bounce back. Yesterday was not the case. Crude oil cracked, and frankly, while as much as we would like for crude oil to stay low, typically in the past, crude oil cracking has actually brought down the indices as well. So let's wait and watch what happens. The INR has had a very strong move in the last 2 sessions. It's closed substantially higher in trade yesterday. Let's see if that momentum continues in the session today. And last piece before we get to trade setup is that CRISIL has slashed India's GDP growth forecast by 179 basis points to 3.75% for FY21. And you would say that this is natural, but the first of the large names to come out and slash the targets has indeed happened. Now, what about trade? We're starting off a new series, and frankly, the Nifty Futures across the series, the open interest is up by about 8%. It's adding some more as well. You would want to believe maybe some fresh long positions being added. And the FI long positions for this series are higher by about 30% than the kind of long positions that they had in the previous 2 series. Are people turning slightly mildly bullish? Well, you could argue maybe that is the case if the market behavior is to be seen. The FI selling is surely ebbing. I remember yesterday telling you that don't read too much into it. I'm still not reading too much into it, but we have to present the data as it is. And if you can see the data, the last 5 or 6 days, the FI selling every day has ebbed from 5,000 crores on the 19th of March to just about 484 crores, and it's a straight declining trend that you see on the FI outflows as well. So maybe that's good news. Okay, so lots of news flow. We'll start off in the green. What do we watch out for in terms of specific stocks, even though the index must start off in the green? So 3 or 4 names that I thought were important. HDFC Life, it's been a phenomenally strong stock. But there is a block deal that is due to happen today. Standard Life will sell about 1.75% of the equity as the base case scenario at about 431 to 448 rupees per share. So that's a discount to the current market price. Would the stock start off lower? Arguably, yes. Will it get bought into? That's the question. I think a few people will believe that maybe that's the case. Yes Bank, it's looking to raise another 5,000 crores in one or more tranches as well. So that stock remains in focus, continuously comes off, but looking to raise more money as well. Balrampur Chini Mills, the reason I've put this out, it's very interesting. The stock was up 10% yesterday. ICICI Bank has invested about 51 crore rupees in the company's NBFC NAM at for 9.9% stake, 51 crores or thereabout. That takes the NBFC valuation to 500 crores. Balrampur Chini's valuation currently after the 10% uptick is 1,800 crores. You can do the math. And aviation stocks, because the government has extended the ban for international flights till the April 14th. I just want to end this trade setup with a very interesting quote that I got from Basant Maheshwari, of the author of The Thoughtful Investor and fund manager. He's saying, and I quote, and I'll read it out of course, that as the pain of losing is always more than the joy of winning, a person on a losing streak is more likely to focus on falling prices than if he were on a winning path. Not realizing that if the investor fears the bear, he would never be able to ride the bull. I think Basant is trying to say that if you only looked at the negative prices and the negativity, you would have missed the last 2 days uptick, and maybe you'll miss the uptick that might come in over the course of the next 1 year. Hopefully it's an uptick over the course of the next 1 year. Happy investing, viewers, and thanks so much for tuning into this trade setup. Stay safe, maintain social distancing.
According to a recent report, women today